Okay, thanks for joining. Sunday, 11:30. Hope everyone is well. And just gonna move a bit. I've been sitting a lot at my desk this week, so trying to get the body ready for another week and feeling good. So go nice and easy, enjoy, and have fun. So just a few ground rules that I recommend for practicing yoga. Move slowly. No crazy fast movements in and out of postures, because that is most likely to injure you and be less effective as well. Bend your knees as much as you need to if you're particularly in forward bend. So anytime you're trying to lengthen the back, don't go down with straight legs and have this big gap between the chest and the legs. Bend the knees to get the back fully lengthened, and that really will help you free and lengthen the back of the spine, which is the gateway to really freeing up the rest of the body. The work that I've done with numerous sports teams down through the years, I've always found, and with myself too, in my own personal journey to try and free my back and my hip and my hamstrings in particular, the gateway is by freeing the back first. So free the back first, then the hips free up a little bit, then the hamstrings free up a little bit. But to be honest, you don't really need the hamstrings to be unbelievably flexible for regular happy life. It's much better to get the back moving better, because if you do that, you'll sleep better and your overall movement will really improve. Particularly your movement, let's say, in forward bends when you're lengthening the back, back bends when you're lengthening the front, and really importantly in twisting. So twisting is the thing that really we need to keep our movement in. When you can turn the upper body and not turn the waist so much when you're getting this amount of twist, this is what really we tend to lose as age and lack of mobility creeps up on us. So the more you can keep your horizontal or your twisting movement, the better. So yeah, let's see how we go and enjoy. All right. So bend the knees. Try to get the back to lengthen out. So if you bend the knees and if you take your hands to the hips, feel the top of the hips here. So you feel like you're going to take the top of the hips back a little bit, and that'll lengthen the lower back for you. Then bend the knees. So see the lower back is nice and long there. Your hands come together. Push the shoulders forward, press the hands together. Then push the hands down, roll the shoulders in, catch index fingers. Bring the hands forward, wrists move away. Hands go wide, push those palms nice and wide, fingers face up. Shoulders go forward, top of the hips back. Shoulders go forward and up to lengthen the spine. Really tractioning the spine here. Lift the heels if you can. Press the thighs into balance. Push hands down, roll shoulders in. Bring hands forward, wrists move away. Hands go wide, push the hands wide, fingers face up. Hands come forward and up. Shoulders high, back long. Squeeze thighs in to help stabilize you. Heels go down, arms bend. Right hand goes up, left hand goes down and forward. You push your hips to your right. Push the hips to your right, so you put the weight on that right leg, lift the left leg. You're lengthening the right side of the trunk here. Right hand high, right knee bending. Lengthening this whole right side. Left toes down, arms bend, back to center. Other side, left hand forward and up, right hand forward and down. Hips slide to your left. Bend the left leg, put the weight on it, take the right toes up. Be steady. If you can't manage the right toes off the ground, just have them lightly touching. Lifting that left hand high. Really letting that left side lengthen out. Outside of the left hip here, right along the left side of the trunk. getting nice and lengthened here. Tends to be my particular nemesis, this part of the body, this left side around the left hip. Really like to loosen it out because it tends to be the place that usually gathers the most stiffness. Right toes down, right hand goes up this time, hips down, and then our hands reach forward. Right hand back behind you, right leg steps forward, maybe lifts in the air. Face relaxed. This is just a twist. If your right knee is going forward, your right hip then isn't moving, but your upper body is twisting to the right, then you've got a proper twist going on. Smooth down with right leg, right hand goes forward, left hand goes back behind you, left toes step forward, maybe left knee lifts. Be steady. Just easing yourself into it. Smooth down, left hand goes forward. Just take the hands behind you then, interlock the fingers, straighten the arms a little bit, maybe press the palms together if you can, then push the belly button forward, lift the chest, lengthen the front of the spine. So your shoulder blades are coming back together here. Smooth, release. Give the hands a little bit of a shake out, then come towards the front of the mat for your salutations. So you bend the knees, keep the feet about hip width apart, keep a little bit of space there. That makes it easier for you to reach the ground. If you're more flexible, you can have your feet right together. But I like to start around hip width apart. Back of hands together, push the waist forward, reach the arms up and look up. Bend your knees, lengthen your back. As your hands go down, head goes down. Look forward, right leg back in the air. Right leg back and down, knee to the ground. Look forward, lengthen front of spine. Round the back out, head goes down. Reach the arms up, look forward and up, lengthening the front of the spine, lengthening the hip flexors here, and smooth down. Left toes turn out, left heel lifts, bend the elbows, head goes down. Look forward, still lengthening the right hip flexors here, and hands down, left leg slides back, we come forward. Down towards the ground, lower plank, pause in lower plank, knees on the ground, and all the way down. Look forward, lengthen front of spine, and enter gentle Cobra, then gently look down, pop to lower plank, up to upper plank, and gently ease back to downward dog. Bring the chin towards your throat, lengthen your back here, so you can bend the knees to lengthen the back. Ease yourself forward, walking forward gently. Knees bend, looking forward, lengthen front of spine, see knees and chest are touching. Lengthen the left leg back in the air now. Left leg nice and high. Lower down slowly. Knee down. Look forward. Round the back out, head down. Up with the hands. Look forward and up. Lengthening the front of the spine, lengthening the left hip flexors. They're the muscles that bring the left knee towards the chest. Smooth down with hands. Right toes turn out. Right heel lifts just to free up the right hip, and you're still freeing up this left hip flexor group of muscles. Looking forward, then bend elbows, head down. Ease up. Right leg slides back to kneeling plank. Find a nice balance. Don't let the hips and the back sink down. Feel like you're in an angry cat shape of spine. Then lean forward and down towards lower plank. Keep that length in the lower back. And all the way down. This time, hands go a little forward. Pull the ground towards your length in front of spine. Keep the heels out. Unsquash the lower back. Sacrum unsquash. So sacrum is right down here, just at the base of the spine. So when your heels come in, it kind of brings the hips in to squash a little bit. When your heels kick out, it unsquashes that area. Feels quite nice. Hands come back by lower ribs, coming to a lower plank, up to upper plank, gaze to belly button, back to downward dog. In downward dog, just walk out your downward dog a little bit. Bend one leg, then straighten the other. And if you can do this by just bend the right leg now, turn left toes out to the side, put the left heel down, just to free up that left side of the trunk. So you're lengthening the left side of the spine all the way down around the left outer hip. You're lengthening the back of the left leg as well, the calf muscle, because you've turned the left toes out enough to put the left heel on the ground. Ease back to center. Bend the left leg, right toes turn out to the side, right heel down. Nice right side lengthening. Ease back to center. Bend those legs a little bit. Walk forward. Keep the knee bend, look forward. Lengthen your back, head goes down. Back lengthens, nice release of the back. Push the waist forward, reach arms high. And lowering down. Give the legs a little bit of a shake out. All right, we're going to move on to the next piece. Just going to turn off the music for a moment. So into this salutation again, same kind of thing, except the leg when we step it back doesn't go to the ground. Back of hands together, reach arms up, look up, lengthen your back, hands down, head down. Look forward, step right leg back in the air. Lower it down and push the mat apart, look forward. Back leg is straight this time. Take the hands off, feel force down through the feet. Head down towards left knee. Push the hands up and forward, lengthening the right hip flexor as you look up. Nice. Lengthening out. Hands go down, left thigh turns out. Heel lifts, arms bend, maybe head down. Look forward. Lengthen the right hip flexor nicely. Lifting the chest up helps. Then hands down. Left leg steps back. We're in upper plank. This time knees on or off the ground as you lower to lower plank. Find a balance in lower plank. Try not to let the top of the hips sink down. Lower down. Hands forward. Pull the ground towards you. Lengthen your front of spine. Heels kick out. Hands by lower ribs coming to lower plank. Up to upper plank. Back to downward dog. Feel a nice lengthening of the back here. And from there, walk the legs forward nice and steady. Keep the knees bent, look forward. Left leg lifts up and back. And down it goes. Push the mat apart. Lengthening front of spine. Take hands off briefly. Hands down, head down to right knee. Push the mat apart, reaching arms up. Lift the chest. Be steady as hands go down. Right toes turn out, right heel lifts. Bend the elbows, head goes down. Up and lift the chest. Hands under shoulders for upper plank. Then the shoulders go way forward, past the hands to lower plank. And all the way down. Hands forward, pull the ground towards you. Lengthen front of spine. Hands by lower ribs, coming to lower plank. Up to upper plank. Downward dog. This time bend left leg, turn right toes out to the side to lengthen the right side of the trunk. We did the other side last time. Right calf lengthens out. Right side lengthening nicely. Ease back to center. Walk the feet forward. Keep the knee bend, look forward. Then head down towards shins. Nice lengthening of the back. Push hands up, look up, and hands coming down. Again, back of hands together. This time bend the knees. Reach arms up, look up. Keep the knee bent, lengthen your back, hands down, head down. Look forward, right leg back in the air, and down it goes. Push the mat apart, look forward, hands off. Hands down, head down to left knee. Reach arms forward and up, lift the chest. Push down with the feet. Smooth forward and down. Left toes turn out, left heel lifts. Arms bent. Stay here, this is fine, or else head down. Ease up, lift the chest. Move the hips around a little bit, freeing up the hips. Hands down into upper plank, down to lower plank, up to upper plank. A little change of movement here. Down to lower plank, up to upper plank, down to lower plank, and all the way down. Hands forward, pull the ground towards you, lengthen front of spine. Hands by lower ribs, coming to lower plank, up to upper plank, back to downward dog. Chin right in towards the throat, look towards your belly button. Knees bend, walk the feet forward, drop the hips, look forward, left leg steps back in the air. Down it goes, push the mat apart, look forward, round the back out, head down. Push down with feet, reach up with hands. Smooth down, right toes turn out, right heel lift, stay here, or bend elbows, head down. Easing towards looking forward, move the hips around a little bit, come to upper plank. In upper plank, you can lower towards the ground, knees on or off the ground, lie down or else do a couple of up and down type press ups with me, with the elbows staying in. Elbows stay in by your side. And down. Hands forward, pull the ground towards you, lengthen the front of the spine. Press the abdomen out a little bit. It's okay to press the abdomen out a little bit. Hands back by lower ribs. Push down with hands, come to lower plank. Up to upper plank, back to downward dog. Chin towards throat, face relax. Take the feet a little bit wider. Maybe turn the toes out a little bit to help you get the heels towards the ground, to lengthen the calf muscles. Chin towards the throat. We're going to hold downward dog for a little while. So your chin is towards the throat. The arms are pushing the ground away. They're really straight. The legs don't have to be fully straight. The chin comes towards the throat. Nice back lengthening. Lower ribs want to drop down, but don't let them. Pushing the ground away, chin towards the throat, trying to gaze towards the belly button. And knees bend, walk the feet forward, drop the hips, have a look forward. Then lengthen your back, head down towards shins. Back is lengthened. Back of neck lengthens out a bit more. And up we come, keep the knee bent. And stand tall, give the legs a little bit of a shake out. All right, from there, take the hands together, bend the knees, take the right knee up towards the right elbow. Try to balance here. Then lean forward, bring the right leg back in the air. Bending this left leg to give yourself stability. Leaning forward. You can reach the hands back, makes it a little bit easier. Face relaxed. Find that balance, building strength in that left leg. Down that right leg goes, back heel flattens. So the back leg, we're going to work on flexibility in the back of the right leg now. Left leg bends a little bit, we lean forward until you can get the chest onto that left thigh. Hands go down, then head goes down towards shins. Left shin. Right leg is straight, back is long. Look forward, left hand pulls up on the left shin, left leg straightens a little bit more. Right hand to right hip, triangle pose. Look towards the right. Lift the right ear slightly just so your head isn't dropping down. Nice twist here. Lengthening that spine out over those front toes. Back is long, right shoulder is clearing up in the air. The right hand could go up into the air. Could even drop down the back behind you towards the left thigh and help turn the left thigh out. Find a nice balance. Pressure down through both feet. Don't lean on your left leg. Feel like you're pulling up on it with the left hand. Pushing the ground away with the feet. Look forward, bend the left leg. Right hand goes towards the ground. From there, we want to try the right hand going over to the outside of the left foot. So the right hand goes to outside of left foot. Your right fingers face towards the left. Your right shoulder dials towards the left. Spine is long. Then left hand comes to lower back. Your spine is long. This left leg could be straight, but you don't have to, okay? So this is the hard version of it. It's okay to have a little bend in that left leg. We're working on the twist here. We've got straightness in the back leg. This is revolved triangle pose. Left ear lifts a little bit. Maybe left hand in the air. Could be straight in the left leg here. It's quite strong. I like to have a little knee bend. Left hand down to left hip, looking down. Drop that left hand towards the ground, then come on up off the back heel so your right toes are pointing straight ahead. Bend that left knee a little bit more. Look forward. Then try to take the hands up by the chest. Try and lift the upper body off that left leg. Try and straighten up the spine. Straighten the back leg a little bit. Try to lift the chest up. Reach the hands up. Be steady, like what we did in the salutation earlier. Then you leave that right hand up there. The left hand comes down to outside of left thigh. You're lengthening that front of right hip, those right hip flexors. Right side of the trunk is lengthening. Be nice and smooth. The right hand is reaching up and over to your left. Left hand is moving forward and down. Nice. Right side lengthening, hip flexor lengthening. Then lift the left hand up as well. And then you're going to twist to your left. So turn your belly to the left. Turn the chest towards the left. So you're looking out over that left thigh. The right elbow comes down to the outside of the left thigh, but doesn't quite touch. So the right elbow isn't touching that knee. It's just off it. And your right elbow is pushing towards the left. Right leg straightens. Be steady. Nice, strong legs. Left leg really strong. Right leg lengthening out, getting flexibility. Left hip feels strong in there. Those muscles will start to loosen out in a few moments. And gently, right hand might touch towards the ground. Twist even further if you're really used to it. Back knee on the ground at any stage. Quite a deep twist now. I know you'll probably want to stay here for 5-10 minutes in this posture. Maybe not. Look down, bring the hands towards the front of the mat, bend that left leg, put the back knee on the ground, look forward, and the left toes turn out to the side, just like in the salutation. See how things are feeling in the hips there. You can keep the left heel on the ground, try the elbows towards the ground, if you can manage it. Be steady. If you're more comfortable, you could straighten the back leg, taking the back knee off the ground, but that's quite tricky. Okay to have the right knee on the ground here, just getting into the left hip. And easing up onto the hands. Left leg moves back, might move back too gingerly. Give it a little bit of a shake out. Done a lot on that left side. And then just slide the hips a little bit from side to side. Just loosening out, seeing how things are feeling in the hips. And then you're coming forward and down to lower plank. All the way down, come to Cobra. Look forward. Then hands by lower ribs. Coming to a lower plank again. Up to upper plank. Gaze to belly button. Back to downward dog. Walk the legs out. Put the left heel on the ground if you can. And put the right heel on the ground. And ease forward to bend the legs, look forward, then fall down, head to shins. Up we come, and hands down. To the other side, left knee lifts up, towards left elbow. Left leg slides back in the air. Pause with it in the air. You're lengthening out nicely. Right leg strengthening. Hands can reach back, makes it easier because your shoulder depressors are activated. And it makes it that a little bit easier for the core to help support you as well. When your hands go way forward, it's harder for your center to support you. When your shoulder depressors, the things that pull your shoulders down, are activated, it helps support at the core that little bit easier. Back foot lowers down. From there, your back heel is on the ground, left toes turn out a little bit. You turn the belly button towards the front, and then you lengthen the back so that you can have the upper body on the lower body. Then head down. Allow the back to free up. So don't have a gap between your upper body and the lower body and the right leg straight. Bend the right leg as much as you need to get that gap closed so your back is lengthening. Lengthen the spine, lengthen it forward and up. Right hand pulls up on the right shin. So it feels like you're trying to do a bicep curl by pulling up on the right shin. Your right arm is straight, but you're in the action of trying to pull up on the shin, trying to lift the foot off the ground, it seems. The spine lengthens out. The left hand is on the left hip. And then from there, you're looking towards the left. Nice, long spine. Left shoulder clearing up out of the way in triangle pose. Be steady. Pressure down through the feet, pushing the mat, stretching the mat away. Feel like you're trying to make it longer, that mat, by pushing the back foot into the ground, pushing the front foot into the ground. Left hand can lift up into the air. Left hand can lower down towards the right thigh like we did on the last time. It's a tricky one to get into. Only an option. Perfect on the left hip. And from there, we're going into the next one, which was the twist. So we're looking forward. The left hand comes down, the right hand comes down. Then you try that left hand to the outside of the right little toe. Right hand comes to right hip. Spine is long. Be steady and calm. Pressure down through the feet. Lengthening the spine out. Plenty of freedom coming in the left outer hip and the left glute, the left side of the lower back. It's really asking those areas to lengthen out now, which is good. Next then, nice and steady, slowly releasing the hands down. You come on up off the back heel, pressure down through the feet, picking the spine up slowly, hands to hips, and then lengthening the hands up into the air. Getting into our psoas, lengthening here. Left psoas. Left hand stays up, right hand moves down and forward. Left hand forward and up. So I'm emphasizing the right hand moving down and forward, the left hand moving forward and up, so that the shoulders are moving forward rather than back. Because if the shoulders go back, you tend to squash up the neck a little bit, particularly as you lift that left hand. So shoulder back and up, not so nice for the neck for most of us. Be steady as we give time for the left psoas to lengthen out. So left psoas, there are a group of muscles that come from the left inner thigh up towards the left lower ribs. Right hand lifts up, getting ready for our twist. Arms bend, front leg is bent. Now you're turning the belly button to the right. Turning the belly button towards the right thigh. Turn the chest more towards the right thigh. Into a nice twist here. Left elbow moves to outside of right thigh, but not quite touching. So you're getting a lovely twist in the spine. The legs are strong. It's an amazing posture, this one. So in terms of bang for your buck, what you're getting out of this posture, you're getting a forward bend. You're getting strengthening in the legs. So in a forward bend, you're lengthening your back. Then you're working on your twisting to help your mobility. Slow down how our aging process stops us in the twisting. And from there, gently, maybe left hand goes towards the ground, right hand to lower back, or up in the air if you wish. Strong twist. Release the back knee to the ground at any stage if it's too much for you. Right hand lowers down, then the gaze goes down, then both hands move forward, back knee goes towards the ground, right thigh turns out, but right heel stays down. See how things are feeling in the hips. Bring the hands a little forward. Either keep the arms straight like this and stay high, or else bring the elbows down towards the ground. Don't force. It's hard to have the right thigh turned out and the back lengthened like this. So the hips It's juicy work into the hips. My wife Lara likes to say, getting the hips freed up a little bit, going from stiffness into freedom, adding a bit of movement. In, easing up onto the hands, see how things are feeling. Right leg slides back. Good stuff into the hips. Certainly for me, it's my weak point, especially the left side, but both areas of the hips tend to be my tight spot. So really good to work into that area. So well done if you've gone through this. From here, you're going to come forward and down towards the lower plank. Pause in lower plank. And all the way down. Bring the hands forward. This time, put the elbows on the ground. Lift the throat forward and up. Maybe put the hands underneath the chin. Be steady. Heels kick out. Lengthening the front of the spine. Pressing the abdomen out a little bit. Press down with those elbows. Lift the chest a little bit more. Feel like you're trying to drag yourself forward, drag your heart forward, using your elbows pulling the ground towards you. Smooth, hands go down. From there, just put the left hand by the left hip, twist and look towards the left. Really nice lengthening of the front and a bit of a twist. To the other side then, the left hand goes forward, left elbow goes to the ground, right hand comes down by the right outer hip, twisting, look towards the right. Try this other side again, right hand forward, left hand this time either goes by the left hip or goes onto the outside of that left hip and helps the left hip down. Be steady, pressing the abdomen out. Left elbow goes forward and down, right hand comes to outside of right hip. Nice lengthening of the front of the spine, adding a twist. Then hands come by lower ribs. Press down with shoulders to put force into the ground to pick up the spine, and up we come. Sit back a little bit towards the heels. Move the hips around a little bit. From here, bring the knees a little forward, and we'll sit towards the heels if you can. Can you sit on the heels? If it's too much and you need to be up, away from the heels and elbows down, that's fine. And then you just gaze towards the knees. If you're okay sitting on the heels, go ahead and scrunch up into a little ball. This is called Balasana, the child's pose. You can reach the arms forward, elbows down and head on the ground. So you're trying to soften and relax more. You're trying to get the back muscles to get used to the idea that the knees come to the chest. Soften the abdomen. Soften the abdomen further. Let the back really free up. You can take your back of the hands to the lower back and just massage that lower back if you wish. Working from the middle of the spine down towards the waistband of your trousers. Just loosening out that area. Softening the abdomen gives that back permission to lengthen out. Sends a signal that everything is okay and safe. You don't need to brace. You don't need to hold on. You don't need to tighten. Then bring the hands forward and down, and then we look forward. From there, without sucking the abdomen to the spine, the hands are going to push down strongly as if trying to push through the ground. The upper back is going to lift then, and you're going to try and bring the knees towards the chest. So you push down with the hands. Without sucking the abdomen up towards the chest, you just push down with the hands, try and lift the knees up towards the chest. So you're on the fronts of the feet. If it's too much, you can have the knees back on the ground and you're in this angry cat shape of spine. You're trying to get the knees forward and the fronts of feet on the ground, lengthening the back. Get the knees used to being closer to the chest. Lifting the upper back. Smooth down. Can you sit on the heels and take the hands back? If it's too much, try lifting the hips up off the heels. Lengthening the front here. Sit on the heels if you can, then lift the chest that little bit higher. Nice back arch. And from there, we're trying to, now the knees are really far away from the chest. Now we're trying to bring the knees to the chest. So you're moving the shoulders forward and down, pushing the ground down and feel like you're pushing the ground forward, because that activates the deltoids here that lift up the on the front of the shoulder. That would lift up the hands, yeah? So you're pushing the ground forward, lifting the upper back, knees off, maybe feet off too. And smooth down. Well done. Good. From there, give the arms a little bit of a shake out. Give the wrists a little bit of a move out, just in case there's a lot of pressure on them. Now we're going to put the elbows down. So elbows down, fingertips touch. And from there, so elbows down, fingertips touch. So your palms are together like in a prayer. You round the back out again. Bring the chin towards the throat. Then lift the knees. Come to a modified downward dog. Chin towards the throat. Be steady. Chin is towards the throat. Back trying to lengthen, even though it wants to shorten, because the front of the body wants to lengthen by dropping towards the ground. But we don't let that happen. We keep the lower ribs in. Keep the upper back lifted. Keep the top of the hips lifted. Maybe left leg in the air. Just so high that you can still see it. So you can still see the toe. Left leg down. Right leg lifts up. Smooth down onto the legs. Look forward, knees on the ground, or else step the feet a little bit further back. Keep the knees off, then bring the shoulders forward. Feel like the shoulders are going out over the thumbs. Spine is long in a nice lower plank. Top of the hips lifted. Face relaxed. Knees down at any stage. Find a nice balance here. In lower plank, on the elbows. Be steady. Face relaxed. Back towards a modified downward dog. Elbows down. Forward, bringing the head out past the hands to a lower plank. Back towards a downward dog. Lower plank. Back. Forward. Back. Knees down. Sit to the heels, give the hands a little bit of a shake out. Well done. Good going. From there, going to move towards a downward dog. So you're going to push the ground forward with those hands and gaze towards the belly button. See how downward dog is feeling now. Try left heel on the ground. Right leg stepping a little bit forward so the right knee comes closer to the chest. Push into that left hand. Push into that left foot. Back to the other side. Left leg steps forward. Right toes turn out to the side. Right heel down. Press into that right hand. Back to downward dog. Walking the feet forward. Knees bend, look forward. Stay here for a moment. Put the hands on the calf muscles. Slide the elbows behind the knees. Bring the chin towards the throat. Lengthen your back. Relax the abdomen. Release the back of the neck by having chin come to throat. Smooth hands move forward and up. Look up and hands come down. Calm the breath down a little bit now. Be as calm as you can. Give the hands a little bit of a shake out. Last bit of the standing sequence. Back of hands together. Reach arms up. Look up. Bend the knees, lengthen the back, hands down, head down. Look forward, right leg back in the air. Down it goes, and it flattens down the back heel. You bend the front leg, keep that left hand down, reach the right hand forward and up. Bending that front leg. Be steady. Nice right side lengthening. Look at the left big toe or look a little to your right. Find a nice, strong posture. Right hand back to right hip. Left hand comes up to left hip. Stand tall. Bend that left leg nicely. Then your left hand is going to go forward, right hand back for warrior two. Be steady and strong. Calm as you can. This is warrior two. Warrior one brings the right hand forward to meet the left. Then forward and up. Look down or else look to the thumbs. Look down, hands down beside the left leg. Left leg slides back. Upper plank, lower plank, upper plank, lower plank. Or ignore me, just lie down. Find a nice balance. Lying down or going through your upper planks and lower planks. Then knees down, right leg forward, left leg back. Bend the right leg a lot, right hand to outside of right heel, left hand goes down, then forward and up. Be steady. Nice lengthening of that left side. Look down, makes it easier on the neck. Really lengthening out through those left fingertips. Lengthening out through the back leg. Left hand to left hip, right hand to right hip. Come up. Find that balance. Bending right leg, straight back leg. Right hand goes forward, left hand goes back. At shoulder height. Look towards the right index finger. Pressure down on the feet. Be as calm as you can. Be as calm as you can. As you build strength in the right leg, get flexibility on the left leg. Left hand goes forward to meet the right, and then the hands go forward and up. In warrior one, you can lift the chest more. You can look to your thumbs. Be steady. Warrior one. Look down, hands come to hips, come on up off the back heel, hands either side of front foot, right leg steps back, coming forward, knees on or off the ground as you go to lower plank. Lie down or else up and down, up and down. Can you go slower? Up and down. How slow can you move? Up and down, under control. Back to downward dog. Walk the legs out. Child's pose, knees down, elbows down, head down. Release. Any tension you've been holding. Easing back up. Easing towards sitting. Well done. All right, so the body holds tension, okay? Whatever we're doing in our regular lives, the more stressed we are and the more stressful information we have to take in, the more the sympathetic nervous system is activated. And the sympathetic nervous system governs so the autonomous nervous system operates in an autonomous fashion by itself, right? It turns on one part and turns on another part. So the bit it turns on when you're under pressure or stress is called the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system tells us to fight or run away when we're in danger or when we're in an environment of stress. And the more stress that we add in to our being through our mind and the environment we put ourselves in, the more that we tend to live in that sympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is the other side of that autonomous nervous system, and they're an on-off switch. They can't both be on. So there's one, it's either on or it's off. So it's either sympathetic nervous system is on or parasympathetic nervous system is on. Parasympathetic nervous system is the one that you want to switch on to help your digestion, to help you gather energy, to help your reproductive system work better. And that is it's often called your rest and digest, just to summarize it. So if the sympathetic nervous system is fight or flight, rest or digest is governed by the parasympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system can't be on if the sympathetic nervous system is dominant or on. So we live right now in an area where we're constantly bombarded with negative news and tough stuff going on in the world. And I'm not saying that we run away from that. I'm just saying that we need to be aware that this will have an effect as to how our physiology and our nervous system works. So getting yourself into the habit of turning on and developing the skill to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system by softening the abdomen, by breathing diaphragmatically. So the diaphragm sits just below the lower ribs there, or at the lower ribs. And the more you relax the abdomen, the more the diaphragm can happen. But when we're constantly told by society to suck it in, to have that core strength, and then we add on other things which will block the diaphragm, which will turn off automatically the parasympathetic nervous system and turn on the sympathetic nervous system. The more we live in that type of an environment where we're in sympathetic nervous system mode, the more stressed we are, the less energy we gather, and it's not a good cycle. So then when it comes to sleeping, when you really want to turn on that parasympathetic nervous system, because you're not used to living with that turned on, or more used to living with the sympathetic nervous system turned on, then sleeping can be difficult and the mind is racing, and we're in a constant stress of trying to get to sleep, and that's tricky. So softening the abdomen is the gateway to better sleep when we're trying to get to sleep, but also to try and get yourself to be as calm as you can in regular life, and particularly in pressure situations. Unless you're in a fight or where you actually have to brace the body, in a stressful situation, you can actually be relaxed. And then you might think with greater clarity and get through it better. All right, so that was your little break and talk about the nervous system. So let's just get to sitting. So in sitting, I'm usually sitting at the desk behind me here. My knees are close to my chest like this. I'm on a computer, kind of probably like this, and then I'm kind of slunched a little bit, probably more than often. I'm a normal human. I do the same as you for the most time, but I try and catch myself and try and sit a little bit taller so my spine is lengthening more. So let's try sitting just with the legs fully straight. You'll find that it's probably hard to sit very tall because the back of the legs then being lengthened makes it hard for you to lengthen the back at the same time. So try to bend the legs a little bit, push down with the heels so you pull the ground towards you. You see my mat folding up a little bit there because I'm pulling the ground towards you. So I'm tightening the back of the legs actually and lengthening the back to sit up. And we just stay here sitting nice and tall. Be steady. And if you can have the legs straighter and still sit tall, that's fine. But you take the degree of straight-leggedness that suits you, that allows you to sit tall. Just shake the ankles around a little bit, or the toes around a little bit as you keep the pressure down through the heels, sitting nice and tall. You can even push the palms down. So often it's taught to be straight arms, straight spine, straight legs, toes drawn back. That's hard for a lot of us. Really hard. So it's okay to bend the knees a little bit. Be steady. Find a nice balance. Then we go into our forward bend. So you bend the knees as much as you need to sit tall and then lengthen the back. So you pull the ground towards you with the heels so that your back lengthens easier. Knees and chest are touching like I was speaking about earlier. Hands come to sides of feet or sides of shins. And then from there, you're lengthening the back out. Gaze towards the ground to lengthen the back of the neck. Be steady. We'll just pause here for a few moments. Relax the abdomen. Press down with the heels. Breathe diaphragmatically, so don't suck the abdomen in. Try to breathe and expand at the belly. You'll feel it has an effect around the back, around the hips. Expand at the belly as you breathe in. Let the air fall out of the body. Lift the gaze gently. So you lift the chest up. Take the hands back behind you. Fingers face towards the hips. Just allow the spine to kind of release towards the ground a bit. Then bend the elbow, bend the leg, should I say. Raise the waist up into a tabletop position here. Gaze towards the top of the hips and lift the top of the hips a little more. Shoulders push forward. Nice. Tabletop. Shoulders are pushing forward and down, arms are straight. Thighs squeeze in. Being steady. Don't throw the head back. You can look up if you like, but don't throw the head back. Smooth down. Left leg goes forward. Right leg then, the sole of the foot goes towards the left inner thigh and the right knee falls towards the side. You bend the left leg as much as you need to so you can sit tall. So if the left leg goes straight, you might get stuck back here and you won't be able to reach forward towards the foot. So you bend the knee as much as you need to lengthen your back to take the foot. Lift the chest, lengthen the back, bring the head towards the left knee. Breathe diaphragmatically. Look forward. Take the hands forward towards the top right hand corner of your mat. See if the left elbow can go down, right hand onto right thigh, or onto the right side of the lower back, right hip. Bring the left hand off the right edge of your mat, twisting a little bit here. Nice little twist towards the right. Try the other side. Walk the hands towards that left foot. And then bring it over the left shin, over towards the left edge of the mat. Twisting to the left. Look to left. Freeing up the lower back and the hips here. They're going to feel a lot different having done this practice today. Left hand might come to lower back. Nice twist. And a forward bend. The left hand comes forward. Hand to the side of that left foot. Then walk the hand back towards you. Take the right leg and lift it in the air. Give it a little loosen out of the right ankle. Right leg goes down. The left knee comes towards the chest. Open it out to the side so that the left sole of foot comes to the right inner thigh. Then bend the right leg as much as you need to sit tall. Lengthen and lengthen your back. Your hand comes either side of the front foot or the shin, and the head goes towards the knee. Breathe diaphragmatically. Expand at the belly. Breathe through the nose very slowly, so you're not rushing the air in and out. Slow, calm, teaching the body that things are okay, that you're not under pressure or stress, that you don't have to have the sympathetic nervous system switched on, that it's parasympathetic nervous system time. And when you create this environment for yourself, the muscles, which are usually tight and hold on to tension, they say, okay, well, it seems like I'm not at risk here. I'm not under threat. So I might actually lengthen. I might actually let go, stop clenching. Gently lift the gaze. Bring the hands towards the top left corner of your mat. Maybe the right elbow goes down, left hand to left thigh, or left hand to left side of the lower back. Gently easing forward and to your right. So left hand comes over the right thigh, twisting to your right. Really nice twist. Keep things moving slowly and sensitively, like I said at the very start, so you can feel what's going on better. Reduces the risk of injury and increases the chances that the muscles will actually lengthen, those muscles that we're trying to get to lengthen out. And you'll build strength in a safe way also. Breathe and expand at the diaphragm, at the abdomen. Ease yourself back towards center. You're going to let that left leg lengthen out then. You're going to put it in the air. Get a little bit of a shake out. Well done. We'll try the soles of feet together then. Move the hips back a little bit. So see the way my knees just fall naturally towards the ground? Well, they don't actually, because my inner thighs still have the tightness that I managed to work into them over many years. And particularly the last few weeks, been doing a lot of sitting. So feeling a little bit tight. So to make it easy, if you're like me and have tightness at the from the inner knees up towards the groin, move the hips back a little bit further away from the heels. Then take the hands forward and then just butterfly the legs a little bit. If your knees go to the ground easily, you can move yourself forward more. Be steady. You're lengthening the head towards the feet. Being steady, being calm. You can hold the feet, press them together, lengthening the back out here. Breathe and expand at the belly. Loosening out the back. Freeing up the movement of the hips. Easing up slowly. taking the hands back, lift the knees towards each other, and then just bring yourself to your elbows, and then allow the feet to go a little forward. And here you're going to do window wipers with your legs. So your knees fall towards your left, then they fall towards the right. And just frees up the hips a little bit. If it's too much on the elbows, you can lie down. In fact, why not just all lie down now? And just have the shoulders down, the hands out to the side. There's no major advantage to being up on the elbows. Just go a little bit slower now with your window wiping. Freeing up the hips. So when the knees go towards the left, you're freeing out the outside of the right hip, the inside of the left thigh. When the knees go towards the right, you're freeing out the outside of that left hip and the inside of the right thigh. Soften the abdomen. It's okay to let out a few sighs with the exhale. If you're working out years of tension that you've managed to build into the hips and the back, go a little slower. And then draw the knees towards the chest without the use of the hands. So you bring the knees in and then just move the knees, rock the hips side to side, rock the knees side to side, massage that lower back using the ground. Stay here and rest and be still. Or add gentle back lengthening, kind of a half sit up here. You lift the head, bring the chin towards the throat, hands reaching forward, knees are towards the chest. Back is long in this sit-up type position, getting the knees towards the chest. Not sucking the abdomen to the spine, you're just bringing the shoulders forward, knees towards the chest, which will allow the back to release more. Hold the shins with the hands, lie back down. And bring the soles of feet towards the ground, hands onto the thighs, raise the waist, gentle back arch, back of head is on the ground, shoulders are on the ground, raising the waist. Lowering down, palms down, knees come towards the chest, rock again from side to side, ease to your right hand side, and come up towards sitting. Sitting, we take either feet go out in front of us, knees bent, or else you can come to a cross-legged position of some type. Now, if your knees are sore when you do this, just don't do it. You're not going to get the benefit of it. Just uncross and let the legs go out like this, okay? So come to any cross-legged position or come to a legs out in front. Bring backs of hands together, thumbs to heart. Reach arms up, look forward and up. Hands go down. Bring backs of hands together, thumbs to belly button, elbows in, and hands go out like an offering. Bring the hands to the knees for a moment. The reason I have the legs in the cross-legged position is it tends to free up the hips a little bit and work into the hip movement. And that's something I want to do a little bit here, but it doesn't cause me pain. But if it's causing you pain, you move your feet forward, okay? So back of hands together again, thumbs to heart, and up with the hands. Look up. Hands go down. Back of hands together, thumbs to belly button, elbows in, and hands come out. Again, back of hands together, thumbs to heart, and up. Hands go down. Back of hands together, thumbs to belly button, elbows in, and hands come out like an offering. So when your back of hands come together, you're lengthening the back. Thumbs to heart, and then you lengthen the front as you reach the arms up. Hands come down, still lengthening the front. Then back of hands come together and you're lengthening the back of the spine. Thumbs to belly button. Elbows in, you lengthen the front of the spine. So there's some spinal movement in these salutations of the hands. Padma Namaskar. Namaskar is a salutation. Padma, Sanskrit for hands. So we're using the hands as levers to move the body and salute ourselves. Just another one. Getting the body into parasympathetic nervous system mode. Hold the offering position at the end. Close the eyes. You're offering respect to yourself. The offering position is also the receiving position. So being open to receiving that offering of respect to yourself. Hands come to the knees, palms facing down, elbows in. Just find a balance for yourself. You don't have to be sitting really tall. Just find a place where you're sitting and taking the support of the ground. So sitting into the ground with the feet, sitting into the ground with the hips. Using its support, taking its energy to help support you. You're letting those feet sink, letting those hips sink into the ground. You can lengthen the front of the spine a little bit, perhaps, taking from that solid foundation. Soften the breath more, soften the pace more. Become a little quieter yourself. Try to listen and pick up for some noise. I hear the draft myself, hear the chimney behind me. I hear the birds outside when I become really quiet. You can lie down at any stage. Or stay here for a minute or two with me sitting. Soften the abdomen and the face further. Allow that calm breath to happen. There's not a lot of air moving in and out. When you're at your calmest, the body is still and you're gathering energy. It's just a gentle rise and fall. Begin to ease yourself back up to sitting if you're lying down. Go really slow. Move very gently and sensitively. You're going to roll to one side and then help yourself up very gently. Nothing rushed, nothing strained. Find some sort of seated position. And take the hands together just for focus. Just the fingertips, you can leave the palms open, not closing the palms. Just feel like your fingertips are together. This position of focus, of concentration, of offering of respect. It's an offering of respect to yourself, to you. Saluting yourself. Saluting each other's good health, and I suppose realizing that we're part of a union, common unity, all of us wishing good health to people perhaps who come to your mind now, family, friends, loved ones. Broaden it out perhaps to everyone. Namaste means the humble spirit within me, or else the divine within me salutes the divine within you. So I wish you that. I salute you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me on the practice today. Hope you're feeling pretty good. Quite a good practice today, about an hour and 15 minutes almost. So hopefully you'll feel better, at least as good, but ideally better than when you started the practice. The face, hopefully you can see it if you go look in a mirror, perhaps might look a little bit different, a little bit less tension held. The body is that does capture and feel what's happening in the mind. Whatever we put into the mind, definitely the body takes it on. So it's a tough time for us all. Let's look after each other, but look after yourself. First of all, try and give yourself some energy. Get yourself in a good position to help others from there. One of the things a lot of us tend to do is look out for others and forget about giving ourselves energy and looking after ourselves. So I'd encourage you to maybe do this practice more often. Repeat. It's going to be there for you for as often as you like. There's a bunch of other good classes there too. But I wish you well and good health. Sláinte and namaste.